Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of I Live for This Review, special edition Dragula. And today I have myself and
Trinity, the tuck.
we are on episode, is this episode 5?
Five.
I feel like this season is really flying through.
Yeah, it is going through. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I honestly feel like we haven't really gotten rid of as many people as I feel like should already be gone.
I think it's because we are there's so many personalities, and the biggest personalities are the ones that are staying.
Yeah.
So that's what each episode is focused on, and literally those are the ones that are staying. So that's why it hasn't felt like a lot of ghouls have went. And I think that's why, because the biggest personalities are staying.
Yeah. Well, just before we get started, make sure everybody is following Trinity on Instagram, Trinity the Tuck, Trinity the Talk on TikTok, Chantel Sparkles on Instagram, Chantel Sparkles everywhere. Glitter Bomb Wigs is my wig company, and glitterbombwigs.com. But as far as everything else, let's get started. So the
Hold on,
girls.
wait, hold on, hold on, wait, 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 hold on, wait.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Dragula is sponsored
Oh,
by
yeah.
Serve Vodka. You can go to servevodka.com and order one of 6 flavors. Mine is mixed berries, and they will ship directly to your house. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and comment on each of the Dragula reviews.
Even if you want to be shady.
Yes. Each episode that we are doing, and you will be eligible for to win a huge merch prize package from the Boulets themselves, because like we said before, this is the official review show for the Boulet Brothers
The
Dragula.
official review. Or not the review. Oh, that's fine.
Oh my God. You're so
Bitch,
stupid.
I feel like I have the brain cells of like a paper bag flying in the wind.
Yeah, I agree. Finally, we agree.
But listen, you dumb too, bitch.
Girl.
Anyways, so the girls or the ghouls enter the workroom, and Pi and Asia are the only people that enter the workroom, and they're like, what is going on? Like, why is it just us? So that's a little odd, but they start talking about, trying to finish what they started, which was trying to start their alliance and
Why are
trying
you
to.
sitting? I can't. Your half your face is cut off. Now, normally I'd be like, "That's great," because I don't have to look at your ugly ass. But we need to see your face,
Okay, here we
Valentina. We
are.
need to see your face. Um. So yes, it is kind of weird, but I think this was strategy by production.
I think it was definitely planned, like you were saying. It just
Yeah,
seemed too scripted.
but it's good for production to have done this, so it gives them the opportunity to scheme. And
Yes.
one thing I will say that makes Dragula stand out from other competition shows is the fact that they love drama.
They love to stir the pot.
They love to stir the pot, and they're not scared to even the boulets on the judges panel in front of the contestants will say, you know,
Who do you think
"Girl,
should go home?
yeah, get stirring the pot," and I love that because it's not it's real. They're not trying to hide what this is. This is a reality show. There's going to be drama. They want the drama.
Yep.
And they're not trying to sugarcoat anything. They're not trying to finagle it where it's like, "Oh, production has no say, ha ha." No, production is productioning, and it makes for a good show. And
Speaking
so
of good show, after that, while they're talking and they're trying to finish their scheme, then they start talking about actually bringing other people into it, which I thought was like, oh, this shit is getting good.
yeah.
So as soon as that happens, um, Vivi comes back,
Yep.
and I was gagged.
Yeah, I mean, I thought if they were going to eliminate one of the two, it would definitely be Vivi, just because out of the two, she was the weakest, and wasn't she already in? No, she
She was
wasn't.
hard.
She
They were
wasn't
already in the
already.
bottom.
Was she?
No, 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 maybe not.
No, no. This is her first time in the bottom, and
Okay, yeah, yeah.
but I think out of the two, she was the weaker.
Yeah, me too. And so Vivi comes back. Everyone is gagged, including myself and you.
Gagged. Mhm.
And people are starting to be like, bitch, we want Gray back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
But
so
they're also
shady.
missing everybody's there but Gray and Majesty.
Yeah. Well,
Majesty's
that I think that was
around.
like before they started saying that. And then people started kind of coming in. And then we were like, oh shit, everyone's here except for Majesty.
Yep.
So after that, production yet again comes
Production.
out
Yep.
and gives them a letter. And Asia reads the letter. Basically, it's a goodbye note from Majesty saying that they have left the competition.
Yeah. And I don't, I mean, everybody's mental journey is their own thing. I am just my own person. This is my own personal opinion. Why would you start something if you aren't ready for it? Because obviously, this is filmed in such a short amount of time. There's no way you just had an epiphany out of nowhere. I am not mentally ready for this.
Yeah. And yet
I
again, this is another time. I mean, I get mental health comes first. It's the most important
Yeah,
thing.
and obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, obviously.
But you know what I'm saying? Like there is so many other people that I would have loved to have that
I was gonna say
opportunity.
that Majesty took somebody's spot that would have wanted to be there, that mentally could have handled it, and
Yeah.
obviously she just wasn't ready for this to be her comeback. And I'm like, well, for her to have um a second chance and for her to finagle it like that, it just was like, girl, really?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
thought the same thing.
I'm just not a quitter on things. I struggle with my own mental stuff too, just like everybody does, but I compartmentalize and I move on because bitch, I'm there for one thing and I'm there to compete. I want to win.
Right.
You
Yep.
spent all this money to just quit. I just don't understand that.
I
But
don't get it.
more power to you.
So Majesty sent herself home. We were gagged. Asia thinks that Auntie is a part of Majesty leaving. And that they aren't sad, they're not showing emotions. And that after that, Auntie basically says, like, well, I admire Majesty leaving. You know what I mean? Because of the mental health. Like, if that's really what you're going through, then that takes a strong person to leave the competition. But I still thought it was kind of shady because they were like, bitch, you wanted him to leave or wanted them to
Yeah,
leave.
yeah. You were one of the reasons what like caused this like snowball effect in the first place. Last week, you were telling Majesty all this stuff like you're a narcissist and all of the stuff that made her probably doubt herself even more and be the reason to leave. But now you're like admiring her. I don't know. It was kind of
It's
like
weird.
it was kind of weird to be like, oh, because like you clearly wanted her gone.
Right.
Yeah. It was very weird. So we find out after all of this drama happens, we find out that their challenge this week is to do
A musical.
a musical, but like it's based off of
Drag
Alaska.
the musical.
Yeah, Drag the Musical, Alaska's Drag the Musical, but they're reworking it as Dragula the Musical. So they're taking a song or two songs from Drag the Musical and they're redoing it to fit the Dragula theme. And there's two groups, again, group challenges. The first group is Auntie, Vivi, Yuri, and Gray. The second group is Aurora, Asia, Pi, and Jaharia.
They also have to come up with looks too for these groups as an
Yes.
ensemble to make sure that they are cohesive as a group. And
Yes.
with that also, whoever wins gets to be a guest on the Drag the Musical
For one
itself.
night in New
Yeah.
York. Yes, off
Mhm.
Broadway.
Which that is
And
out now.
yes, which is happening now. Yes. And also for you that might not know, this one of the producers of Drag the Musical is Liza Minnelli.
That's Gaggy.
Fierce. Fierce.
Liza McGaggy.
Yeah. But Auntie, Vivi, Yuri, and Gray are all in the Rat Pack group, And then Aurora, Asia, Pi, and Jaharia are all on Team Snake, honey. Slither, sweetie. Um,
Yes.
the Boulets come out, and of course, like always, they look gorgeous.
Yeah, the only thing that I could really clock was like I'm used to seeing them with more shape or at least looks that accentuate their shape.
Yeah.
And with this, it was such a black, straight down look with like a cutoff at their knees that I just felt like they were missing that.
Yeah, I mean, on stage, solid black looks are really hard to show silhouette for sure. But I've always said
Mhm.
that with any kind of competition show on TV, all black and all white, it just there's something about it that just doesn't translate fully on TV uh,
Yeah.
without other details. But overall, I thought they looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
They always look polished to me. They always look like themselves. They
I
have
love their
a
hair
specific
too.
style. Always,
Their
always.
hair for some, I think this hair in general, if I'm not mistaken, is made with actual horsehair.
Mm.
Because like I've seen this hair up close and the
Yeah,
hair is like there's a different texture to this hair and it moves like different. You know what I mean? It's just
interesting.
interesting.
And I love how they contoured with pink. It was like
Mm,
all this was under here was contoured with pink and shadowed in with pink. It
I
almost
love
looked
it.
like there was a pink light shining on them, but it wasn't. It was makeup.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. I
I
love.
gave this look killer.
Yes, I would also rate this killer for sure. So let's get into these performances. What did you think of the Rat Pack, which was Anti, Vivi, Yuri, and Gray?
So for me, I thought, I mean, the writing was on the wall, the proof was in the pudding, the proof was in the cheese crumbs. Um, it was not, they weren't prepared.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't have their choreography together. Um, so for me, that wasn't the cleanest. What did you think
I liked this group. I liked this group more than I liked the other group. Maybe it's because I just liked the concept of the
of
rats
the rats?
and
Yeah.
everybody looked pretty good. Um, I know that to help them be cohesive, Gray made all of them rat noses,
Which I thought that was really cute.
which was really cute. And one thing that made them stand out is their ears were all a little different and their tails were all a little different, but they all stayed within the same realm. I liked this group.
Yeah.
I was worried when they were doing the run through. I was worried because all of it was just a bunch of like 1 2 1 2 doo-wop kind of snaps.
Yeah.
But I,
But I feel
I,
like the snaps did go with it's very mouse. Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
you
very
know what I
rap.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think of the Team Snake?
Team Snake, I thought it was very choreographed. It seemed pretty together. I mean, obviously there's some weak links and there's some strong people, but all in all, I feel like they all seemed like they had a general idea of what they were doing. And so for me, I thought they were the best group.
Yeah. I thought they all looked cohesive. They looked like a band.
Yeah.
My problem is like the Rat Pack they were rats, like
They were literal.
they were literal, and the Team Snake it just I didn't get Snake
Well, when
from
they said that
them.
they were doing the green colored makeup and stuff, and they were showing it in the transformation part of getting into their looks, I was assuming they were going to do more snake stuff.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Snake skin print or like painting on snake scales or like the
Yeah.
contacts or the fangs
They
or
could even take like fishnets. You know how like we've done it before, you put fishnet over
yeah,
your
and then you
face and then you just
spray.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was just something so like I don't know.
Malnourished, honey.
It looked like when people think of punk when they dress up like that for Halloween. That's what it looked like.
It was very that.
It didn't look authentic. It looked like, okay, we gotta look like a band. Let's
I think what I was judging was based off of just their cohesiveness in the choreography in general.
Well, I
And
also thought they sounded the worst.
yes,
They sounded the worst.
so the way that I judged the groups is I had like the best and the worst in one group and the best and worst in the other group, and then I
So who was your
compare.
best and worst of the Rat Pack?
So my best was probably Yuri or Gray. And it wasn't really based off of Yuri's look because I felt like her look was a little underwhelming, but I thought that it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And the way that they sang was very theatrical. Like they made a character with their voice. It wasn't boring. It didn't sound like sometimes when people sing over a song, it kind of sounds like the music is swallowing them.
Yeah.
But the way that they came out and sang, it almost was believable.
Yeah, I can't really like this week. It's hard to judge their floor show based off of their look because they're all kind of rickety and they all
Yeah.
piece together stuff to make it cohesive. And so nobody really brought like a look.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do like the Bloodbath Killer, Dull
Yeah.
Night,
Yeah.
Flatline because there's just it's just not a look to do that for. But I agree with you. In this group, I thought Yuri sounded the best. Her rat was the sexy rat,
Yeah.
and she delivered that.
And
It
just the
sounded good.
character voice
And
sounded good.
sounded good. I also liked, I agree with you. I thought Gray was the second best in that group. He can't sing, but he had a character voice for
Mhm.
that.
And their
And
acting in it was good too.
very good, very good. Who was your
Who was
worst?
your we both said it. Mine was Auntie
Really?
because they forgot the words.
Oh, see, so Vivi was the worst because she not only could she not sing, but she sped up so fast.
The timing was off.
I think that is what threw
Well,
Auntie.
that's what they had said later in the episode.
And had she not thrown Auntie off with that, I think Auntie would have been fine because Auntie sounded good. She
Yeah.
she just fumbled the words because she
You
was
can
like,
tell that Auntie is very calculated, very like
Harry. But
planned.
you know
They
what?
know what they're doing.
She's one of those queens that is in it. She's playing the game. She wants to win.
Yeah. And so when a bone got thrown her way and messed up the whole race, it
He
frazzled
got in her
her.
way. Yeah. Yep. What about in the snake group? Who was your favorite and least favorite?
My best was probably Aurora or Pie.
Aurora?
I didn't like Aurora's singing, but I liked how
Oh,
she looked
it
and I
was
liked
awful.
the acting.
No, it was
Who was
awful.
yours?
The best was first of all, this was the worst group for sure
Yeah.
to me. Um I think the best was probably Asia.
See, I didn't think Asia could sing. I thought the acting was a little like, uh,
I mean,
meh.
compared to Aurora was awful. She sounded really off, really, really bad. And I get it, like certain people can't sing. I get that. That's fine, but like it just was
Well,
really
they said this specifically, they said this is not a singing challenge. We want to see you just
it
really
was
get into
awful.
character.
I also felt like she didn't project enough, which makes it come across as she was not confident.
Shy.
And that's the thing with Pi, even though Pi sounded awful, Pi had confidence.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah.
why I said Aurora or Pie. My worst was Asia.
My worst was Aurora.
That's funny.
So based off of everything, their look and their performance and their vocals, tell me who your bottom two up for extermination are.
So I'll just go in order.
Okay.
So my top team was the Snakes.
Okay.
Who was your top team?
The Rats.
Okay. The actual team that won was the Snakes.
Okay.
The top monster performance in general was Yuri.
I 100% agree with you.
My actual winner of this week was Pie.
See, I didn't write that down because I didn't know that they were going to be like, oh, this is the group, and we're going to pick from the winning group because I didn't think anybody in that first of all, I didn't think that group won, and
Yeah.
I didn't think Pi should have won over Yuri. So
Mhm.
I picked as my winner of the week was Yuri. So I didn't.
Who do you
Go
who
ahead.
do you think your bottom two was?
My bottom two up for extermination was Aurora and Vivi.
Mm.
Who was yours?
Vivi and Auntie.
Okay.
Because Vivi was so like when we were talking earlier about how you said that they were so off and like rushed.
Yeah.
I was like, well, because then once I started watching the episode, I was like, Well, Auntie had started talking. They were like, well, Vivi was so rushed in the performance. And they
Yeah.
played it back, and I was like, oh, that was bad. The way that it was like singing before the song was playing. And I
Yeah.
was like, with that being said, Vivi was bad. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to throw Auntie completely under the bus. So Vivi was the worst. And then Auntie um, couldn't keep it together.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I totally get your point. So we find out that the actual winner is Pi, which I don't agree, but I think that Pi did good for their group for what
Yeah.
they do.
I don't like that they said on the stage where like Pi took control of the whole group and was like, "Oh, I did this." Da, 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 da. And I was like, wasn't Jaharia just talking about how they did the choreography and they helped them all like kind of be cohesive?
Well, that's one thing about Dragula is they're not afraid to throw each other under the
They're
bus, bitch.
not,
They're
bitch.
trying to win, bitch. They want to win. And Pi made points. Pi said the Boulets like you to take credit. They want you to own the fact that you're good. And
Yeah,
that's even with Drag Race is the same way. RuPaul wants to know that you're good.
yeah,
Because why the fuck are you there if you're not?
right.
And so
I
you
just
can't.
didn't like the fact that Jaharia did do a
Oh,
lot,
Jaharia
but
definitely.
they said, Jaharia, you need to stop acting like an NPC and be a main character.
Yep. Yep. And so, girl, and that's what Pi did. Pi said, I'm the main character, bitch. This is
Right.
about me. And so, girl, they gave her the win.
Yep.
They do something different this week where the winning team goes to the Cauldron
And gets to decide
and
who they want to
they get
send
to
home for the bottom
decide
two.
the two that are going to be up for extermination, which is a twist. They've never done this before on this season.
Yep.
And that's another, what I was saying back at the beginning. I love Dragula because there's so many twists and not one episode is the same. The way that they do the judging, the way that they do who picks what or the twists, it's always something different. You never know. And
Yeah.
it keeps it interesting. You have to pay attention. And so I really liked that. So the ghouls go back to the cauldron. Then they break up in groups again. Aurora and Jaharia are in one corner talking. Asia and Pi are in another corner talking. And Asia and Pi are like, we have to get,
Rid of the strong
yeah,
ones.
we have to get the strong ones out. We have to try and get Auntie out while we can. And then
And Gray.
the other two are like, we have to get Gray out while we can. And so then they came together and they were like talking, if you vote for Auntie, we'll vote for Gray. And so we were like, oh, okay, so we know they're picking Auntie and Gray. Girl, they go back out on the runway.
And it's not as planned.
The Boulets are asking each of them who should be in the bottom, and they're each giving their opinion. And girl, they all say Auntie, but then they all say Vivi.
Yeah, it was
And it's like,
gaggy.
it was gaggy that they changed their mind out of nowhere. And you could see the face on Pi and Asia when Aurora said that, and they immediately had to change their direction
Their
on stage
whole, yep, their whole plan.
in that moment. And so that was shady of Aurora to do that,
Yeah.
but fierce.
I know. I was like, you better work,
But fierce.
bitch.
But fierce. And so we find out that the bottom two that are going into extermination is actually Auntie and Vivi. And the extermination, again, this is another twist. The extermination this week is not something gross, not something painful, not something weird or scary. It's a lip sync battle. They have to do what drag
They're
artists
taking it back to the basics,
and
bitch.
they have to lip sync against each other, and that hardly ever happens with Dragula. That usually
Right.
it's a weird, painful, scary extermination. So they both sing. I don't know what song this is.
It was a rock song.
Yeah.
Like a poppy
I was
rock
thinking to
song.
myself the entire time that I was watching this, I was like, bitch, if I was on that stage, I would have given this. I love to perform rock stuff.
Yeah.
I would have done so much more. I felt like there needed to have been way more energy.
Yeah.
And Auntie wasn't giving much energy, but Vivi was giving no energy. What did you think?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I saw was Auntie was just doing more,
Yeah. I
you
mean, she
know?
was doing more. She did
Yeah.
do fine, but Somebody else could have went out there and literally
played them.
yeah, literally obliterated her. But it was interesting the fact that this was the difference. It was a different thing, and immediately, bam, you're gone.
It's
You
a
don't.
game.
Yeah, they don't wait to find out. Everybody finds out in that moment. Another twist. This whole episode was twist after twist after twist after twist. And we find out that girl, Auntie stays, and Vivi, you're out of here.
Vivi, yeah, out.
You are out. You're not in, you're out.
You're either in or out, and you are out.
That's my Heidi Klum. You cannot be in because you're out. Avita Zane.
She's so fierce.
So yeah.
That was the episode.
Crazy twist this week.
I feel like it's just, yeah, even last week, you're like, oh my God, who the fuck is gonna go home?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. And see, look, this is the thing. You could be in the bottom last week and then be in the top this week, because Gray, I think because of their performance, would have been in the top had it been individually judged.
Yeah.
And
you could be sent home next week, even if you're really, really good, because people just want to get you out.
Girl, and that's what they could have done. They could have been that shady and put Gray and Auntie in there, which are both two people that I see in the top.
I wonder if production was like, you're not doing this.
I don't think so. I think that the production would have lived to have a crazy elimination.
I mean,
because Phoebe going home, I mean, she was just in the bottom.
We knew it was coming.
And she hasn't been, like, at least with Gray, Gray's won and been in the top a lot. So had it been Gray versus Auntie and one of them went home, it would have been a shock.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but based off of what we've seen, who do you think is going to win this season?
I still think it's like either Asia or Auntie.
I think it's Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Asia.
I mean, even when she was being judged on the stage, they were just gagging. Even the guest judges were like, you have some kind of star quality that makes me want to just keep watching you. I mean, come on. It's a given.
Yeah. Well, that has been the episode today. Don't forget to follow Chantel on all our socials and her wig page at Glitterbomb Wigs, glitterbombwigs.com, Trinity the Tuck, Trinity the Talk on TikTok. Go check out Serve Vodka, which is a sponsor of Dragula. My flavor is mixed berries. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on all of these to get the opportunity to win that merch bundle. It's not just a t-shirt. It's not just a promo. It's a whole bunch of stuff that is exclusive for this that the Boulets are giving to you specifically. So thank you for tuning in. And until next time, bye-bye.